fandom. So this might be boring. I don't know. Whatever. Haley, you need to shut up. Okay. Jackie, hey. Maddie. Luba. Okay, Jasmine. All right, and now everybody shut up. So, so this is new to me. You know, I kind of wish that I knew Stacy. You're a whore. So I don't really know. I had no idea what this whole experience would be like being on RuPaul's Drag Race and having fans that don't live in Boston, because when I started doing, I sort of accumulated, I guess you could call it a fan base. I would say it's more of a community over the years in Boston. You know, performing my show Periscope with Frida Fries, Nicole Pride, and Becca DeBus, and TT Bomb and Mr. Lady. Like, we all, it was more of a community of people that we were friendly with and that appreciated. It was less fans and more like peers. Anyways, so being on Drag Race now has been really interesting. And a few things that I've noticed about the fandom of Drag Race is that it gets really intense. And I love having fans. I love it. I mean, I love the fact that people are interested in what I'm doing and what I have to say, who live in Brazil or Singapore, Maryland. I know you don't actually live in Singapore, but all over the world. And I was very surprised that there are so many young fans, 12 years old, 13 years old. I had a letter from a girl who is 8 years old. It's insane. But when it comes to personal boundaries, I realize that I've sort of conducted myself in a way that has definitely given off the impression that I don't care about boundaries. And it's my fault. You know, what I say or do. So when I go on Periscope and say, this is where I live, this is my house, isn't it great? I don't think about the fact that people will come to it. People that I don't necessarily know. You know, so, you know, you can't come to my house. You can't come to my house. You just can't come to my house. I don't even like my friends coming to my house, to be perfectly honest. And you know, Stacy, you can come anytime, bitch, as long as you bring some red velvet cake. But seriously, you can't come to my house. And so I know that I know that I give off the impression that well, how do I say it? I don't know. I don't know what it is about what it is that I think that I love. I'm lost my train of thought. Oh, Stacy, god damn it, it's all your fault. I was just thinking about you naked, and then I got a boner. So that's that. The whole meeting kids outside of bars, that's another thing I've been thinking about a lot. And I don't know. I'm not really that comfortable with it anymore. I just think that, I mean, I'm trying to think I were 12 and or maybe 12 is a little young, but if I were 15 or 16 and I asked my parents if, hey, can you drive me down to this bar because I want to meet this drag queen who's on her way to the gig, and, you know, I want to take a picture with her and give her a gift. My parents would have been like, are you fucking crazy? Now listen, I'm not reading your parents. I don't know your parents. And in fact, a lot of the parents that I've met who have brought their kids to the bar actually seem pretty amazing. So it's complicated, you know. But the thing is, we're drag queens. And this whole kind of like, yeah, exactly, Darian, right. Kids can come to, there are venues where kids are welcome, where the events are tailored to an all ages experience, like Darian just mentioned, you know, Battle of the Seasons, DragCon, and that's what makes those events so fucking special. I've met fucking babies at DragCon. I mean, they're not fans, though they'll probably be a fan of my stuff because it's so immature. But, you know, those are, and unfortunately, there aren't a lot of venues or events like underage meet and greets, you know, an hour before the show or 2 hours before the show, arranged in the United States. I know there are some in Australia. There's some, I think, in Brazil even. But unfortunately, a lot of those events just don't exist, and that's a bummer. But I'm getting more and more uncomfortable with the idea of kids coming to hang out outside of bars. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. And I fully recognize and realize that I definitely have encouraged that behavior, and I feel bad about that. You know, and I don't know. It's simple for me. I get excited that people want to see me, and that's just plain and simple, and I don't think it through. You know, I think it's wonderful that so many kids are excited about drag. But there's a definite adjustment, you know, because I started doing drag before RuPaul's Drag Race. When I started doing drag was a 21 plus adventure. It was, it's underground. It's, you know, it was dirty and disgusting and offensive, and it still is. 34. Stacey, you need to shut your trap, bitch, trap queen. You know, so the idea of having fucking 14-year-old fans is so crazy to me, and I mean I love it. I love having fans, and I don't want to like shit on younger fans and limit their chances to meet me if they want to meet me, you know. But the reality is that I do feel like I need to set some boundaries, so you know, I say I don't encourage you to come hang out outside the bar, number one, and personal boundaries that involve any age. You can't come to my house. You can't come to my house because, I realize like I love my fans, and I'm friendly with my fans because that's kind of like, that's my natural instinct. I don't want to be, yeah, you're right, Jackie. It is like that for a lot of people. In Jasmine, yeah, my house is filthy. I wouldn't let anybody inside my house, no matter how old you are, because it is nasty and disgusting, and I'm ashamed. But yeah, so I think there's a big adjustment period. There's a big, we're still in the middle of this like really big adjustment period, and I've noticed now with season 7 that the fandom has gotten so intense, and I love being active on social media. I genuinely love it. I don't do it as like a career tool. I mean, it is a career tool, but I just enjoy doing it. Obviously, I'm on Twitter all fucking day. And I admit, and listen, all the stuff that I'm saying I need to create boundaries around is, I take responsibility for it, because I really encourage, I have in the past, I feel like I've really encouraged the kind of behavior that I'm now saying is, can you stop? which I know that maybe you won't care, maybe you won't listen, it doesn't matter, but I just feel like giving my 2 cents anyways, because I feel like I've sort of dug this hole that I'm in. And, so in any case, you know, break off, you know, fuck my ass with a rake, mom, shit on my face, mom, all that shit is just like kind of clogs up my Twitter mentions. And I know this is a fucking free country. You can tweet at me whatever the fuck you want to. And I usually don't block people. I do a little bit. I mean, I do sometimes, and just because if it gets too much, or you know, that, just stop that shit. Don't tweet at me and tell me to fuck your ass with a rake, especially if you're fucking 15 and a girl. I'm not trying to fuck any girls. I'm definitely not trying to fuck 15-year-old girls, and I'm not trying to fuck anybody with a rake. So, get some chill. That's right, Jasmine. And just like think about it. Luba, I don't hate you, so stop. Ya ti bien le bleu. So that's the thing, and you know, what else was I gonna say? Yeah, I think that, you know, there's this adjustment period. Stacy. For the record, Stacey Lane Matthews is the only person, man, woman, or anything in between, who I would willingly fuck her mouth with an egg roll. Okay? So let me just go on the record and say that the only person I'm gonna fuck with an egg roll, and not a rake, is Stacey Lane Matthews. So if you are blowing up my Twitter mentions and trying to come at me with all kind of yeah, how about March 12th, 2016, Stacey? March 12th through the 14th. I got a little wigwam. So, yeah. So that's, so, and then, so, and again, the whole, yeah, you can contact David at Producer Entertainment. He scans through all egg roll fucking, requests. Anyway, so, the mom thing, I thought it was cute at first. And here's the thing, it still is kind of cute. I don't know. I'm a 33-year-old man. Now I feel a little weird that you're calling me mom. Although, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I kind of like I thought it was really funny. Now listen, it's like, it's funny, not cute. Oh, that's interesting, Amy. Think about that. I don't know. I'm getting kind of sick of it, but I don't know. I don't really have any definitive things to say about that. I sold my fucking tumblers called Mom's Gold Teeth. So that's the thing about it. I would say, yeah, you could call me Katya because that's my name. So the thing is that I want to. So now I know it's like probably weird to sort of try like voice that I'm still trying to figure out how to like interact with my fans, but because I'm still a little bit unsure about it, and I don't want to be. I think you know this level of fame is really tricky because on the one hand we're famous, but we're not. I mean, we're not fucking Julia Roberts. I'm more like Rebecca De Mornay in Feds. I'm Rebecca De Mornay in the movie Feds. I feel like that's the level of fame that I have right now. So you know we're famous, but we're also really accessible because we're not really famous. You know what I mean? I mean we're famous in a relatively small, cultish, intense community where people are really passionate and people are really interested, but we're also really accessible, or you know, I guess we're only as accessible as we make ourselves out to be. And I kind of make myself accessible because I don't know, it just feels natural to me. I love interacting with fans. The meet and greet at every gig is my favorite part of the night, always, and I never get tired because I love it. You know, listen. I was in. I performed for like 6 or 7 years, doing a lot of shitty gigs for hardly any money. I can't tell you how many shows I've done with nobody's been there, where we paid $40, where it feels like a total fucking waste of time, or gigs where people are not into it, private parties at a wedding where nobody's paying attention, you know, shit like that. So a lot of us working girls, you know, and this is something I think that Ginger and Kennedy can also, that's what, you know, when we talk about coming up through the ranks, it's dealing with a lot of humiliation. It's dealing with with no money, a lot of humiliation. And then so when the success of Drag Race happens to us, it's so incredible because we're just catapulted. And, you know, and for me, when I'm at a gig in McAllen, Texas, never even heard of the fucking city, and there's a long ass line of people who want to meet me, who are going to stand in the line, my head explodes, you know? Shut up, Stacey. My head explodes. I mean, I literally shitting myself in gratitude. And so I want to meet people who want to meet me, and, you know, so I guess that's where some of my boundary issues come from, is that I don't, you know, if, whatever. Anyways, I'm getting off track. So, I guess the bullet points are A, can't come to my house. B, stay away from my dumpster. C, don't ask me to fuck your shit pussy with a rake. D, only call me mom if you have my personal phone number. No, that's too strict. I don't know about the fucking mom thing. I don't know. It's getting annoying, so you do with it. It's getting annoying to me, so you do with it what you want. I might change my name. I might change my mind about it 2 weeks later. Who cares? Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. Okay, okay, that's what it is. That's what it is. Thank you, Amy, for... So, you know, that's the problem. That is a perfectly good point. So, the thing about it is that I was on the show, I did not have any boundaries. Personal boundaries. My life is an open book. The details of my life, to me, I will share with anybody. And a lot of that comes from what they call in program rigorous honesty. Now, that is not everybody's experience in recovery. In fact, that's not most people's. Most people in recovery, or many people in recovery, I should say, they guard they guard their anonymity. You know, they're not open, and it's called, you know, anonymity is a huge part of that lifestyle and of recovery. I personally don't give a shit about my anonymity. You know, I went on a date with this guy, and first date, and we sat down in the restaurant waiting to get seated, and the waiter came and asked us if we wanted a glass of wine, and I said, no, I'm good, I don't drink. And he says, you don't drink? I said, no, yeah, I'm an alcoholic and a drug addict. You know, and it made him super uncomfortable a little bit. It was, or not, maybe not super uncomfortable, but it was like, oh my God, oversharing right away. That's kind of my style. And I think that perhaps that, because of that, people feel like I give off the impression that I have no boundaries, any kind of boundaries. But right, exactly, yeah. So, I mean, I'm very open. I was very open on the show. I said, believe me, if you had... They edited that shit down. I gave them plenty of stuff to work with, especially in that interview room. And the shit that I said RuPaul that they didn't air is pretty embarrassing, too. But that's just, you know, that's my style. And especially, bye, Stacey, I love you, too. You know, that was my style. And also, that was who I was at that moment, which was very raw, vulnerable, and I'm not necessarily like that anymore. So this is all like really, this is just new territory for me. And, you know, I just, you know, keep in mind, I don't know, I guess I would say, I don't know what you should keep in mind. Don't come to my house. That's number one. So I don't know if that was helpful. I don't know, who knows, but I have some I guess I'll close with this. I have some really juicy information about All Stars 2 that I just heard from RuPaul herself, and she told me that they are only casting 5 girls: Susan Sarandon, Michelle Pfeiffer, Cher, Mary Gross, and Rebecca De Mornay, and they're all going to win. Fuck. I was trying to end that like on a dramatic note and it didn't work. Does anybody have any questions? There's only 5 of you that can ask them. Alright, I guess that's it. Okay, good night, everybody. God damn it, I still haven't figured out... You know what, Jasmine? Kiss my ass.